Hello there everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel, and today I'm going to do something that I think a lot of you really enjoy, and that is what did I perform at my last gig. And my last gig was essentially a parlor type show at someone's home, mostly for kids. There was 60% kids within the age of 8 to 12 and a few adults. So it was mostly designed to be a family show for both the kids and the adults, but mostly axed for kids. And I'm not a kids performer at all. I don't perform for kids. But it was someone that, it was someone that I met at an event, and there's someone that I talked to at that event. They were really nice, and their kid is essentially passionate about magic, and they begged me to do an exception. I did it, and I'm happy that I did, because now I performed there. And now from there, there's other people that want me for another parlor show in a few months, and some people that want me for a stage show. So essentially it's building connections, and I did it for my own business rather than for what it was. But essentially I'm going to show you what I performed at that event, okay? Right after the intro. Perfect. So you decide to stick around, which means you decide to want to see what I have inside of my carrying case. If ever, because I always have this, but I never mention what it is. This is the TCC carrying case. I think it's fantastic. And I've had this for, I think, since I started performing professional gigs. So I think it was around 2018-ish, maybe 2017. That I started performing professionally, and it still looks fantastic. Now, most of my gigs, I don't take it with me because I'm someone that just likes to have things on their body, and that's it. I don't like to have a case with me. But yeah, we'll open it up and I'll show you what I did. So the way that I designed the show was I made it a bit superhero themed, because the superhero appeals to kids, and since I'm not a kids performer and I do a lot of mentalism stuff, I was like, you know what? I'll do some mentalism stuff under the guise of superheroes, because a lot of superhero read minds. I was like, you know what? I'll tell them that my favorite superhero is Professor Xavier, Professor Magneto, Professor whatever, to tell them, what I'm doing so that they could sympathize with what I did. So I'll show you here what I performed. So there's quite a few things. A lot of them are from the Illusionist Kids Kit, which I did mention a few times, but one of the things that I performed is the Vanishing Pen. So at one point I do a routine with a book, which I'll show in a moment, and I have them just write the word so they remember it, and then I say, you know what, you wrote the word, look, boom, boom, boom. I make the pen disappear before revealing the word. It was just a small thing. It wasn't an effect. It was part of the bigger effect, just for a more visual thing for the kids, because I don't have a lot of visual things. So this was a more visual aspect of it, so I had that. This here was my actual opener. So my opener was the bag that they use in the Illusionist kit. For kids, it flies by. Essentially, I put different superheroes. They pick a superhero, and while they open to see what superhero they have, I have here, in my pocket, I say, perfect, show it to everyone. I remove a lollipop from my pocket. I start licking the lollipop, and then I say, excellent. But now think of your superhero. Okay. I do the presentation, and then it's a Batman that they would be thinking of, and I show that I molded the lollipop into Batman. This is Lolly Hero by Steve Rowe. I don't even know if this is still being sold on the market, but it is a really fun effect, especially for kids, and using this prop, it works very well. Then I have here some billets. These I used for a routine that we're going to talk about in a moment, but this is part of the also Illusionist kit. Is you ask them for multiple pets that you could have at home, and then you put the pets on the table, and the pet that they choose, you will always be able to either force or mentally guess what it was. So that is something that I use in conjunction with another routine, which I'm going to show you in a bit. Then I also had some Sharpies, of course, to write some stuff on. Then I also had the emoji trick by Illusionist. So I had here a spare. This one was the one that I was prepared for over here. So I had the emoji trick with the reveal being the pen. So I had this, I gave it to someone, and I was like, okay. And then at the end, I was like, okay, turn it over, anticlimactic. And then it was, of course, when they shine the UV light, it says poop on it. So that was a routine. This was my actual set list. So then we'll go over my set list in a moment. I had the RD360 again, just because I wanted something visual for the kids, for them to see. And they know how impossible, even at 10 years old, they know how hard it is to solve one. So I wanted something visual. So I had RD360 with a bag that I threw out because I crumpled it. But RD360. I also had mind blocks, which is something that I love. I love performing mind blocks. I don't even know if I have a review of it on the channel. If I don't, I'll probably make one because it is a very, very good effect. It especially played very well for the kids. It's things that they like, so I had mind blocks as well. And I did the normal routine, 2 choices. One of them is predicted, one of them is mentally deducted. Mind blocks. Then I used this because I wanted to reveal the kid's name, so I used snaps to reveal the kid's name with snaps. Always plays well when you reveal someone's name. It's I use it a lot with the Scrabble effect, but for the kids, I was like, probably kids at 10 years old never played Scrabble, so we'll use something with images. So I used images for that. Then, of course, sponge balls, a classic for kids, for adults, played well. Again, something visual. As you can see, it's kind of still mentalism based. A lot of the material I did was still mentalism based, but I did sprinkle in some kids for stuff. And even the mentalism, as you saw, was mentalism with Legos, mentalism with superheroes. Then again, the Jungle Book from the How to Read Minds kit for kids over here. Simple. This is what I used in conjunction with the pen effect. Easy effect to do and easy to understand. I also did Chop by Craig Petty. So this is the Chop gimmick. Again, this is, I think, something that I didn't review and something that I love using, especially for family shows. It's so fun. And yeah, it's Chop. So this is something I'm going to use again. I love it. Use Chop. Then I'll tell you exactly how I organized it. So Chop. Then I had these here. These I don't have it in the case anymore. But this was for Portal by Eric Jones, which is an ace, kind of a McDonald's Aces, but upright and visual. So things are very, very visual and like in your face. So that's why I decided to perform it for the kids. They loved the visuals because you see the back, you just do whew, and it just disappears. People were like freaking out. I will have a review of that soon, I promise, because I've owned it since it came out. I believe I was probably one of the first people that even bought it, and it's so good, and I think you should know more about it. So I'll have a review of that soon, but I have these stands that I use in my parlor shows to hold things up, and those are the ones that I used for Portal. I then had here some Post-its to have people write some stuff on, and also was my excuse, because for the pen, again, because this is my thinking, I was like, for them to write something here at the start, me vanish the pen, then take it and rip it and put it into a ball, and then when I want to do the cup and ball, say, I'll need a ball. How about I use that? See? So that's kind of my thinking. Everything is well thought out when I do shows. It takes me a long time to prepare, but we'll do it in a moment. Memory Master. This is family friendly, plays well all the time. One of my favorite effects that I own. It's really good all the time. If it's a parlor show or something casual, I don't do this table hopping, but if it's like a casual performance, all the time I perform this. Then I have here the lie detector test, which is a trick old as the hills, but good as the hills. Again, another effect I don't think I have a review on that. It's one of my favorite effects to perform. It's so good. So I have the lie detector test. And then I have an impression pad, a normal notepad inside there, which I think I had an extra piece of card inside. A notepad, one impression, one normal, a pen, and of course this was the finale of my show. I don't have it with me. I think it's actually over here. Is it? Did I place it back here? It's not. So I did not place it back here. I think it's still upstairs in my room. Or maybe it's in one of these boxes. No. Okay, I think it's still upstairs. But the brilliant Collared 2.0 by John Archer. I do it all. If it's a family show, it is 99% sure that I'm performing Collared by John Archer in the family show. So I had that with me as well. And the last thing is something that I carry with me at all times. It's ABC by Spidey. That was part of the show as well. So that's all of the material that I did during the gig. And I'm going to, we're going to place it back because I'll have to eventually put it back where it all came from. This is all of the material that I performed and brought with me. So it was a parlor stage show of an hour. So it was an hour long. All of this material did last me for an hour, which is fantastic. And I'm going to just since I showed you everything, and I think most of the effects, most people know what it is, I'll just tell you how I routined it and my thinking behind it, because maybe that will interest a few of you, if you're getting into performing stage shows and you want to kind of see how you think things through and how you want things to go down. I'll just show you kind of how I thought the show through. So I wanted to start off with something simple, something captivating, and something that plays well for adults and kids. So I did the Batman effect where they just pick a random superhero, and then I did it with the lollipop reveal. So essentially, do it with the lollipop. It played well. It was a good intro. It's a relaxing intro. It's not mentalism. It is a kind of mentalism, but not mentalism. It's fun. It's quirky. It plays well for kids and adults. It's like, oh, what kind of is going on here? So that was my opener. Then I did the book effect with the pen. So essentially I just tell them, go to any page, open it, and just write the word so you don't forget it. To keep it in the front of your mind. Boom, boom, boom. I reveal it and I say just rip the page and make it to a ball and leave it on the table. So that was my entry for Chop that I'm going to do much later in the show. But just having that on the table the entire time cements the fact it's just a normal piece of paper that no one cares about. Okay? Then I did the emoji trick, which was a small mentalism type effect. It was kind of this first kind of mentalism thing with a fun reveal for the kids. Then I wanted to do, after kind of, a book effect that's mentalism, an emoji effect that's mentalism, and a fun opener, I wanted to do some visual stuff, like kind of in a row. So I did the sponge balls and RD360 for some visuals, for some games, for some interaction with all of the audience, mixing the cube with the sponge balls, doing the entire routine in the audience. I wanted something more interactive to kind of break the pattern of the mentalism. Then I did cards. So then I wanted to do something with cards. I wanted to do a small segment of cards. So I did mind blocks, which it's an intro to cards, but not using cards. Then I did the lie detector and portal for the adult audience. Lie detector was mostly for the adult audience because I had to do some stuff for them as well. And then portal was also for the adult audience, but the kids really enjoyed the visual aspect. So it was a nice bridge in the routine. Then again, after some cards, a small segment of cards, I wanted to do something very visual, hard-hitting, where people would laugh and have fun. So I did Chop with a Mandarin production. So after that I did Chop, and then to finish the show, I always like to do this kind of thing where I say, you know what, I'll show you something and I'll explain to you. Is everyone interested? I did ABC, the 3 spectators mentally drawing what they drew. And I said, does everyone want to learn this? So the way that you do this is with incredible memory techniques, okay? And I'm not supposed to show you this, but I actually have a game that you could all buy that's going to help you do this. Are you all interested? Everyone just says yes. And then I do the main routine in Memorade by Chris Rollins. I do that routine. I play it with it. It always plays fun. It's colorful, has drawings, whatever. Plays well, and it hits them in the head because they're like, okay, this guy's full of shit, So the kind of classic, I'll teach you how it works, which is a possible explanation, but they're like, okay, but this guy, he's really, either he's actually doing a technique here again to fool us, or he's actually really learned how to do this, which is something that I really like. So it's a very playful routine. And then I end with Collard 2.0 by John Archer, which is something that involves everyone. It's fun. It uses a bag that's been on the table from the start. It has mystery. People wonder what it is. It's, it involves the kids. The kids have fun. They see the dog. That's what I use the cards for as well. Because when I ask for the pets, I have a pet selected that way, but I never have the pet shown until at the end. So I like when people name things that are kind of silly, like, a cobra or an anaconda, and then you have animals like dog, cats, anaconda, crocodile, kangaroo, and then they're like, you chose one animal. We don't even know what it is. If in there is a crocodile named Albert, That would be crazy, right? And people are like, oh my god. And say, let's see what the animal you chose is. A dog, okay. And then I like to shake the back of it. Oh, it moved. I think it heard its name. You know, you do some jokes. And then you remove the dog. That's a big applause moment because it's been there the entire time. The name was randomly generated. The animal was randomly generated. It's a big applause cue to end the show. And that's what I end my show with. And that's how I structured my show. It was a family, mostly kid-oriented show. Soon I will have, in May, I have a really big stage show coming up, so I'll for sure show you that. But also in a week or two, I have quite a few walk-around gigs that I'm going to be doing. So maybe I'll do another video of this if you still really enjoy them. But this I took the opportunity to show you kind of the set list and the way that I thought about it and thought about the effects I would be performing. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any additional questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you all in my next review. Have a good one, and bye-bye.